warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our speaker today is Maulana Munir Hassan from Malaysia. Maulana is trained as Maulvi Alim Fazil under Maulana Saleh Salahuddin, the brothers Amiruddin, Maulanas Hamid, Ahmad and Muhammad. Maulana has also wrote examinations of Darul, Newcastle and passed all 6 years with distinction, graduated with Daraja Ul-Ulia, which is the highest pass attainable by a student. His topic today is Reflections on Muslim Life in Africa.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم اهدني أعيش حياة صلاة وسلام على رحمتك ونورك للعالمين والسماوات والأرضين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وأبيه عبد الله وأمه أم النور آمنة وأزواجه كلهن وأصحابه أجمعين أجمعين أجمعين. اللهم عزز الأمة المحمدية بتعزيزك علماءنا، وأعتذر للعلماء لموقفي هذا أمامهم، وأنى لي ولا أحسن الأبجد أن أتكلم أمامهم، ما دفعني إلا حبهم وهم نجوم الهدى، وحب علمهم وابتلاؤهم في الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. علماؤنا هم رحمة الله علينا وأوتانهم مقدساتنا، حلب وغزة وهرات أفغانستان وساحل العاج. بهم نستنير ونستهدي بأسمائهم. أسماؤهم فخرنا وأنسنا، أسماؤهم فخرنا وأنسنا. الشيخ الأكبر محمد شلتوت شيخ الأزهر، الإمام الأكبر مفتي الديار المصرية محمد عبده، وإمام التوحيد محمد بن عبد الوهاب، وبحر العلوم نواب صديق حسن خان بوبالوي، والشيخ الكل في الكل الغواص في بحار أنوار نورانية النور الأول أحمد رضا خان. اللهم ارض عنهم واجمعنا بهم في رضوانك. Again, I express my profound gratitude to Masjid Al-Rahman for affording me again this opportunity to enjoy your company and your hospitality. I will continue and conclude first with my previous address on the importance of Muslim unity in adverse times. In my previous address, I referred to the Surah Quraysh, لِإِلَافِ قُرَيْشٍ إِلَافِهِمْ رِحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَالصَّيْفِ. And I mentioned that this surah is extremely political is highly political, and it encapsulates the political project and the political vision of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam and all Anbiya before him. And it is his trust and his amana to his ummah to continue the maintenance of this project and the continued realization of this project. When we read the surah, and we want to look at the surah in the time of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and look at it also today, and look at the main themes that are in the surah, and weigh and test our reality against these themes. The opening ayah of this surah is the opening ayah of all surahs of the Quran except one, of course. It is the fundamental principle of Islam, Bismillahir-Rahmanir Rahim, the establishment of Rahmaniyya and Rahimiyya in the world. Now, how does establishment of Rahmaniyya and Rahimiyya come about? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains ala lisan Nur al-Awwal, alimi ma kana wa yakun, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, li'ilafi Quraysh. This surah, although it refers to the Quraysh at first instance, it addresses humanity at large. This is fundamental human reality. The Prophet ﷺ is of course born from a mother and a father. He is born in a particular region. The political project that he initiates in that region is of pertinence and is of value to that region and the world at large. So it speaks for the creation of economic security of the Quraysh. A fundamental project of the Prophet ﷺ is the creation of a political economic order that incorporates everybody and does not exclude anybody. إِلَافِهِمْ رِحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَالصَّيْفِ. Now, how does economic life take place? Economic life takes place by trade. When we look at this particular ayah, this is a fundamental movement in the history of humanity at large, that in the securing of goods, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam is trying to move, the Quraysh is trying to move that Jaziratul Arab and its entire region, what we call the Semitic milieu. Jaziratul Arab, when you look at the global map, it is intrinsically linked with Egypt and Africa, and when you look at the sea routes from before Christ, it is linked to the world at large from the Yemen ports and the Yemen harbors. And then you look at the linkages of the sea routes with the trade routes, it is linked to the Roman and Persian empires. For millennia before Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the acquiring of goods, the acquiring of capital was pursued by warfare. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam is actually at a pivotal point in history where warfare is at an apogee and at an apex, and he turns the history of humanity at large and he says there is another way for us to deal with each other. If somebody else has something that you feel you need, if somebody else has a necessity that you need, do not pursue that necessity by warfare and by killing. pursue that necessity by trade. No matter what the season is, if it be bitter winter or if it be a verdant summer, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam directs humanity away from mutual killing to the pursuit of relationships and the pursuit of goods in a more peaceful manner, and that is by means of trade. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is in this sense the father of world and cosmic peace. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. Now what is happening? So do the bidding, obey the call of peace of that Lord who is the sustainer of this holy place. It is putting the Quraysh and the entire Jaziratul Arab in a state of obedience to the project of peace and away from human relationship by warfare. الَّذِي أَطْعَمَهُم مِّن جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُم مِّن خَوْفٍ. And this ayah is the climax of this particular surah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, who is this Rabbu Hadal Bayt? He is that Lord who is the Rabbu Hadal Bayt. He is the one who is actually your sustainer. It means that when you pursue that which is an economic good, and you cannot do it if you live in worship to Him, you cannot do it by harm to a human other. It is not permissible. You can only do it by means of peace. Again, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the father of the global project of peace. أَطْعَمَهُم مِّن جُوعٍ. He gives you universal freedom from hunger. That is the historical location of that particular ayah. Let us now try and look at least the contemporary relevance, of this particular surah and this particular ayat. The state of hunger, and we're moving closer to the topic of today, which is, we're just going to open it. When we look at the news, just in these last few days, approximately 100 refugees, people fleeing from hunger in Africa, were left deserted in a desert and starved to death in the most brutal manner. They starved to death by the merciless sun. I apologize for that expression. They starved to death because of hunger. They starved to death because of thirst. Now when we look at this particular incident, this is not some incident that we must look at parochially. This is the end result. This is the deliberate domino fall of a global project that is over which the global north has hegemony, and which the global north pursues with the application of mind. It is not because these people are just poor because they're lazy. It is not because these countries have failed, because these people don't know how to run a country. No. Who killed Patrice Lumumba? who killed Patrice Lumumba when he said we need to change the way our resources are used and whom they enrich? When he said that in the parliament, automatically he signed his death warrant. Who killed Princess Diana? She did not die because the driver somehow lost the steering. When did Princess Diana, God rest her soul, sign her death warrant? She signed her death warrant when she was in Africa and she raised the issue of landmines, and she, and no human being is perfect, no human being, but for the cameras, that little publicity that she had, she said, no, I, in public view, am going to walk through a place that was once landmine and which was de-landmined, and that this place is landmine is incorrect and is wrong. And when she did these kind of activities, the global order said this woman cannot live anymore. That is how she died. This is now the contemporary reflection on this eternally relevant surah and ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that we reflect on these so-called small surahs. I wish to remember what Ustad radiallahu ta'ala anhu Maulana Salih Salahuddin used to say. He said one of the greatest tragedies of the literature of tafsir is that the last 10 ajza, the last 10 suparas of the Holy Quran are totally neglected. And particularly the Juz Amma. He used to say that if the referring to the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلَوْ كَانَ الْبَحْرُ مِدَادًا لِكَلِمَاتِ رَبِّي, if the entire oceans of the heavens and the earths were ink, they would not exhaust, they are unable to explain even the smallest ayah in Juz Amma. That is how magnificent and deep this particular juz of the Quran is. Ustad radiallahu ta'ala Shaykh Maulana Salih Salahuddin used to explain. He used to say what happens is when a commentator starts commentating on the Quran, he is in a certain age bracket and he exhausts his energy commentating on Alhamdu and the long surahs. So when he comes towards the end of the Quran, and وَحَيَاتُ الْعُلَمَاءِ حَيَاتُ إِبْتِلَاءٍ وَسِجْنٍ وَتَعْذِيبٍ فانظر إن شئتم إلى حياة شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية أين مات فانظر إن شئتم إلى حياة إمامنا أبي حنيفة رضي الله تعالى. The life of ulama is one of trials and tribulations. So when he comes to the end of the Quran, he is tired, he is tortured, he has lived a life of imprisonment, etc. He does not have the energy to comment on this particular part. The last 10 juz of the Quran and Juz Amma are so august and magnificent in meaning that the waters of the heavens and the earth cannot comment, cannot exhaust even the first ayah of Amma Yatasa'alun. At'amahum min ju', he gave them food security from hunger. Let us look at it today again. What is happening? Human beings have become redundant in a certain sense. What do we mean by this? The industrialization project makes human beings redundant to a very great extent. Bill Gates is talking about, I am not financed by Microsoft. I am not declaring here the greatness of Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a seminal figure in the world. He is one of the founders of Microsoft. The level of intellectual cognition and understanding that he has of the world cannot be equated with the level of understanding you get from some so-called Darul Uloom in Jalalabad or something like that. He is saying that we have to understand that human beings have become redundant. Human labor is becoming redundant. And the taxation system of the world must review taxation and look at robotics as a sphere of taxation. Mega companies write off thousands of people and replace them by robots. Bill Gates is saying that governments have to look at the taxation of those robots. Robotics has reached such a level of performance that a seminal Japanese sword master in a public display, in a public performance, tests himself with a robot. The robot is reading through its technology his performance, a sword master who is the convergence of the samurai and ninja traditions. The robot copies his performance. At the end of that display, that Japanese sword master in that tradition bows and he pays a deference to that robot. So what is it showing us? That the northern project of technological control over humanity has reached a very high level. And we, the technologically poor in the global South Africa, India, Pakistan, we are in a perilous low point. We have to look at this particular reality that we face. This is our reality. This shows the global relevance of the Quran for us today. What is the origin of this poverty? The origin of this poverty, you look at the example of Edward Morel, and with this I'm concluding. Edward Morel was an employee in Congo, Africa, and he worked for many years. And when he took a trip by ship to Europe, and the wealth of Africa was disgorged into Europe, he saw no return to that wealth, but only the sending of arms and soldiers. And he came to the conclusion that Africa has been enslaved. There is no trade. If you listen to the news just recently, East Africa is trying. It is saying, we want to create a clothing industry. The global north, which dumps used clothing on East Africa, said, if you try even to create a clothing industry, we will cut off all aid. Kenya has had to surrender. Says, okay, we won't establish a clothing industry. We are not even allowed to try it. One country is trying to negotiate and say, allow us this proportion of, we will buy your used clothing, but allow us this proportion where we can at least create a clothing industry. This is the condition of Africa. And to answer these problems, we can, as Muslims, look at the timeless political relevance of the Quran. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We thank Sheikh Munir Hassan for coming to Pretoria today and giving us his lecture in this masjid. Just one announcement. We asked Sheikh Muhammad Atiyah, the Imam of this masjid, to make special dua for Sheikh Abdullah Adidat, who is one of the speakers in this masjid and is ill at the moment. As well as for regular Musallis who have passed away recently, the late Habib Makki and late Enver Karim India. Jazakallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم.
السلام عليكم.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين، وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله بلغ رسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في سبيل الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه أفضل صلاة وأعظم تسليم. أما بعد، يقول ربنا سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم: ولقد كرمنا بني آدم وحملناهم في البر والبحر ورزقناهم من الطيبات وفضلناهم على كثير ممن خلقنا تفضيلا. الله سبحانه وتعالى كرم الإنسان أينما كان هذا الإنسان، وما هي عقيدته، وما هي اتجاهاته، وما هي شخصيته، أيا كان هذا الإنسان، مسلما أم كافرا، حرا أم عبدا، لا يجوز تجويع هذا المسلم تحت أي ظرف ولا أي أمر من الأمور. تجويع المسلم حتى الموت هذا أمر لا يجيزه الإسلام، فلا يجوز تجويع هذا المسلم، هذا الإنسان أيا كان، لا يجوز تجويعه تحت أي ظرف من الظروف. الله سبحانه وتعالى وصف الأمن من أنواع الأمن من الجوع والأمن من الخوف. فالأمن من الجوع مثله تماما مثل الأمن من الخوف، الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. فليس هناك أمن طالما أن هناك جوعا. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الحديث: من أصبح آمنا في سربه معافا في بدنه عنده قوت يومه فكأنما حيزت له الدنيا بحذافيرها. فلا يجوز تجويع المسلم، هذا نوع من أنواع الأمن. أن يجوع الإنسان أو يعطش ليشرف على الموت فهذا لا يجيزه أي دين. وقد فعل ذلك كفار قريش مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأصحابه. هذه سياسة الكفار منذ أمد بعيد، تجويع العدو وحصاره، تجويع العدو وحصاره. هذه سياسة أنشأها كفار قريش. كفار قريش أنشأوا هذه السياسة اللعينة، سياسة التجويع والحصار، سياسة الهلاك. الله سبحانه وتعالى أبعد الإنسان عن الهلاك وحذره منه، ولكن هؤلاء يهلكون الغير تحت أي مسمى من المسميات. حاصروا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأصحابه في شعب أبي طالب. ثم بعد ذلك تتوالى السياسات والأمور والأحداث حتى هذا الذي يحدث الآن من حصار غزة. مسلمون مجاهدون يرفعون السلاح في وجه عدوهم يحاصرهم العالم كله، ذلك العالم اللعين يقف ضد هؤلاء المسلمين يحاصرونهم ويكادون يشرفون على الموت منذ 2005 حتى الآن. 11 سنة يحاصرونهم حتى الموت. والآن بعد أن كانت هذه سياسة الكفار سياسة كفار قريش في شعب أبي طالب، أصبحت الآن سياسة المسلمين. المسلمون أنفسهم هم الذين يحاصرون دولا إسلامية، مثل ما فعلوا مع دولة قطر التي يحاصرها المسلمون. قطعوا معها كل العلاقات، يريدون أن يخربونها لأنها دولة تقف مع الحق، لأنها دولة تأوي المجاهدين من أعضاء حماس أو غيرهم، لأنها دولة تتعاون مع كل الدول الإسلامية. هذا ما يكفي لذلك اليوم، لكنني فقط أردت أن أذكركم بهذا، أننا نحن المسلمون الذين يريدون غيرنا أن يموت جوعا، مع أن ربنا حذرنا من هذا. نحاصر دولا إسلامية ترفع شعار لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. ماذا نريد نحن أيها المسلمون؟ ماذا نريد؟ يكفينا هذا. وفي كل يوم جمعة ساعة تستجاب فيها الدعوات، فادعوه سبحانه وتعالى على يستجيب لنا. العالمين، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين، وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في سبيل الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه أفضل الصلاة وأعظم التسليم. أما بعد، الله سبحانه وتعالى كرم الإنسان فلا يجوز إهانته مهما كان، حتى الحرق بالنار. بعض الناس ظهر في اتجاهاتهم أنهم يحرقون الإنسان حرقا، مع أن ذلك لا يعذب بالنار إلا الله. إن الله سبحانه وتعالى فقط هو الذي يعذب بالنار، حتى لا يجوز أن تحرق أي مخلوق، حتى النمل حتى لا يجوز إحراقه، لأن الله سبحانه وتعالى أنه لا يعذب بالنار إلا الله سبحانه وتعالى. لكن هناك بشر يحرقون أحياء في محارق للإنسانية في معظم البلدان. لا أذكر بلدا واحدا، ولكن في معظم البلدان يحرق المسلمون حرقا. في مصر قد حدث هذا، في بورما قد حدث هذا، في أي مكان يحرق المسلم لا ثمن له، المسلم لا ثمن له. أما إذا كان صعلوقا من صعاليقهم فإن الدنيا تقوم ولن تقعد إلا بحرب أخرى على المسلمين. ينبغي أن نغير ما حولنا، ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى الهداية والتوفيق. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا وعافنا واعف عنا وتجاوز عن سيئاتنا. اللهم اكرمنا ولا تهنا، وكن لنا ولا تكن علينا. اللهم حبب الينا الايمان وزينه في قلوبنا، وكره الينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان، واجعلنا من الراشدين. اللهم خذ بايدينا منا اليك، ولا تخزنا ولا تفضحنا في يوم العرض عليك. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. سبحان ربك رب العزه عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين.